Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. You know, the Prez told me that if I don't read it, that he's going to suspend me the other night. But I'm not going to read the rest of it. I'm just going to give you this weird voiceover intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nightcap. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting. It's Wednesday night, so the Nightcap is all elite, baby. And I had to bring in some elite creators, wrestling minds. I've got Sean Lucas. You know him, you love him. He's from Boom Broadcasting. He got 2 shows on Boom Broadcasting. He's got Wrestling of Destiny Saturday mornings. And he's got It Stinks, which will be dropping tomorrow. And I've got the man who goes by the name of the model. You already know. That's Wayne Thomas. What's going on tonight, fellas? How we feeling?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Feeling good already. Let's go.
Ready? Let's go. I love to hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the Nightcap. It's all elite edition. We're at the final Dynamite before All Out. So we're going to go all out tonight here on the Nightcap. We already got Booking Like a Mark. That ending was fire. Oh, that ending was in fact real fire. Real fire. We're going to talk on that in just a few minutes here. But fellas, it's hump day. The vibes are high. I'm feeling good. We got a pay-per-view this week. It's been a long week of pro wrestling. How you guys feeling? How you feeling today, Sean? What's going on?
Feeling good. I mean, good week of pro wrestling from all the way from last week leading up to tonight. We had premium live events with WWE over the weekend, good WWE shows last week, good AEW shows last week, and it just spilled right over to this week. Good Raw, good NXT, very dynamite. Okay, got to use the word for the title. Dynamite. AEW
I love it. I love it. The model, Mr. Wayne, how we feeling? Coming into this week of wrestling, it's been a crazy one, and it keeps getting crazy because Friday we've got 2 wrestling shows. We've got the NFL season. I know you're looking forward to it, Mr. Fantasy Football Draft. He nailed all these fantasy football drafts that I was in with him. But how you feeling today, Wayne? What's going on, man?
I feel great, man. It's the best time of the year. We got great wrestling happening. We got football coming back. The weather's nice and cool. Love it.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a single thing. And I know people are wanting us to talk a little bit of Dynamite. Well, welcome in, Derek. Happy Dynamite Wednesday to yourself as well. Hopefully you enjoyed Dynamite. Fellas, we kick things off with good old Danny G and MJF kicking off this final Dynamite before All Out Saturday in Chicago. What do we feel about this opening exchange, this promo battle, and MJF with a little finger licking good on Daniel Garcia's blood, which made me feel some type of way tonight. Let's go to the model because he hasn't been on the Nightcap in a while. What's going on, model? What did you think about this opening segment?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, at first I thought it was dragging a little bit. They spent a lot of time just kind of like getting their insults in. It seemed like I wasn't sure where it was going to go. And then, of course, they finished it strong with the glass over the face and the blood, and MJF being the heel that he is. Thank God for him, man.
I love it, man. Thank God for MJF. He hits us. Sean Lucas, what'd you think about that opening segment here tonight?
Mouth off with Mike, we said every AEW when he's on the show, the best 15, 30 minutes of Dynamite whenever MJF is on the television screen. Knocked it out. Wayne the model hit it right there when he said he drug out at the beginning. Got a little worried because Garcia at first got me lost. He started off babyface promoing, went a little heelish promoing, jumped back babyface promoing. Then it made sense for the ending when he went into the crowd and started attacking security guards when MJF made that comment about his mother. Because, you know, anybody, if you say that, it's just whether you're a babyface It just drops and you go after the heel. Great promo, just MJF. The guy wrote the book on how to be a heel. To me, sometimes I think MJF is bigger than AEW. I think if you put him in WWE, he'll be bigger than WWE. Just his personality, his heel work, impeccable right now. And once again, like he did with Ospreay, he's making Garcia a better person.
Dude, you said it, the key word right there. He's making him a better person. The promo game from Danny G has been stepped up massively these last couple weeks with him and MJF and everything. Like, I love a good entertaining wrestler, fellas. I love funny in the pro wrestling spirit. You got to have comedy, right? I got to a point with him where I was like, he's just so damn good that he doesn't need to be doing the dancing stuff all the time, every minute, with the dance, which is, it's over. It's fun to do. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to see that passion from him. I wanted to see what wrestling meant to him, and you're getting with MJF, like Sean said, MJF's pulling it out of him. He pulled it out at Will Ospreay. Some of the best promos Will Ospreay's had in his time in AEW came with MJF. Same thing with Danny G here tonight. So, fellas, this was a great start to Dynamite and a great final Dynamite before, what looks to be a pretty stacked All Out.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
MJF is just money as a heel, no questions. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Go ahead, Wayne. What you got?
Oh, I was just totally agree that All Out's going to be stacked. Again, I say this every single time, but nobody builds a pay-per-view quite like AEW. They gave us a smorgasbord almost every event before pay-per-view, whether they're getting the opponents in tag team matches right before. I mean, sometimes they just give us so much, and it's wild. I mean, and it's a testament to how skilled these athletes are to be able to go out and do what they do night in and night out and still perform at a high level in a pay-per-view.
Yeah. 100%, man. That's a great point. I think also a little bit of it has to come with Tony Khan. Definitely saw the criticism on social media last week, with All In and the match card placement and some of the time that some of the matches got and some of the people that were left off. So I think he kind of uses All Out as kind of like his little, like, let's get back in the good graces with the people and let me just go out there and book a hell of a show. And once again, put it back in the faces of those people that may doubt, their abilities to do a show and book a great pay-per-view. So I like it. I like what we're hearing. We got some comments rolling and people really talking about some Dynamite tonight. They're AEWing it up. We got four sides of the ring. What's going on, good brothers? Is going over MJF considered a push for someone like Danny G? Sean, is that considered a push for Danny G?
That's a big push, a very big push. Because right now MJF is the cornerstone of AEW. I know we say Briscoe is the heart and soul, but he's the cornerstone right now.
Okay. Wayne, big push for someone like DG?
Yeah, there's no denying it. MJF is the original AEW talent. He's the man. He's the face of the company. And anytime you get to fight the face of the company and be highlighted with it is a push.
I think you'll recognize this next comment here. MJF is the ultimate heel. That he is, Emmy. That he is. We love the support here with these two lovebirds. Love to see it. Let's talk a little bit about. I talked a little bit about comedy with Danny G. We're starting to see some passion. There's another guy who is quite honestly one of the best professional wrestlers of the last 10 to 15 years who's been playing it real funny. That's the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. Our first bit of action tonight here on this last Dynamite before All Out, fellas. He's going up against Kyle Fletcher. My Fletch lights all rise. Let's go to Sean here. What'd you like here? What didn't you like with Okada and Fletcher?
Like this match, really did. One thing I said about this match was if you take away All In, it's either a premium live event match, pay-per-view match, or a main event on Dynamite any night. So much stacked on this card, they decided to open up with it. Good match. The only thing that kind of threw the match off was, at first I said Okada did not look like Okada back in New Japan. And I remember he's 36, maybe starting down to take it slower than what it was when we was watching him in New Japan. It was every 2 minutes, bang, 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 every 2 minutes. So he slowed down. Really thought this was a good match still. Only thing I didn't like that I got to take away from it, but I know why it was done, was the low blow at the end because he's a heel. But I think that kind of just put a damper on the match. But Kyle Fletcher, this guy is great. I want the Fletcher lights down. I'm raising my hand. I'm one of them. I'm bought in with them. And I even put a note that if this guy got the TNA or NXT, he would shoot up the ladder real quick. I just think there's too many people on the roster at AEW where he gets lost in that spin cycle of just a guy that's stuck in a mid card. But he's somebody, if you put him in TNA, NXT, he's the NXT champ. He's beating Ethan Page. He's beating the TNA champ, beating Nick Demus over there for that title.
Wow, big stock in Kyle Fletcher here, Sean. I like to hear it. I'm big on Fletcher's myself. I think he's the next one up, definitely on that AEW roster. What'd you like here, Wayne? What did you see when you saw big K going up against the other K, Kyle Fletcher?
I too am a Fletchlight. Big fan. Big fan. Love the name. Here's the deal. I agree 100% with Sean. I think Kyle Fletcher could be the future of AEW. I think they need to push him hard. He's great. Every time he's on the screen, he's got great athleticism, great energy. I love watching him. Fantastic match. I wasn't too upset about the way it ended, the low blow or anything like that. I mean, that's just what heels do. We know he's a heel. That's what's going to happen. And when you got a star like Fletcher and they've been rising him up, he's going to do a little something extra to beat somebody like Fletcher. So I was okay with the ending of it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Okada. We've said a lot. He's been good in the heel department, but it's like it comes with a price, right? We're so used to this Okada, right? And in wrestling, I think we have to kind of put it in the back of our minds. Like, wrestlers have to reinvent themselves. Look at Matt Hardy, look at Chris Jericho. So I guess it's par for the course for a 36-year-old Okada to want to, kind of wrestle a little bit of a different style, act a little different. So I shouldn't be too critical in that regard, but I will say I like the low blow because it really kind of sells the kind of the point of like, it took a low blow to beat Fletcher here. Fletcher was about to hang in with Okada for the whole time limit. So
well,
go ahead.
One thing I like to point out too, I mean, especially I can speak on my behalf as a newer wrestling fan. I wasn't familiar with Okada before, so you get a lot of fans that know his history and know what he's done before. But for a lot of people, this is what they know Okada as an AEW heel, kind of like a comedy act. So it's definitely easy to get lost in the sauce and if you're familiar with them. But I would think the majority of people watching AEW right now are kind of mainstream wrestler fans beforehand who don't know the history of Okada and know what he's done before. So I don't think it's such a shock to a lot of people.
Wow, Wayne, you bring up a very good perspective because I know me and Sean have been watching the guy for how many years? We're big wrestle heads. That's a valid point. This is a guy who's wrestling for New Japan for most of his career, where you're not really seeing New Japan here in the US. You're not getting that on cable. It's tough to watch unless you subscribe to their, network service. And even then, sometimes they don't even air the pay-per-views that they're airing. You got to pay extra for them. So, it can be a little much to even watch New Japan. That's a valid point that I'm forgetting about when it comes to Okada being in AEW and being on weekly US television every Wednesday and Friday and Saturday for the most part. Sean, I think we forgot about that one, huh? We didn't even think about that one too much.
We did, and I'm kind of glad he didn't get the time limit draw because that would have killed what Claudio did a few weeks ago by giving Fletcher time limit draw. So, it worked out. And like you just said, Mike, it still puts a lot that he had to take a low blow to beat Fletcher.
Yeah, 100%. We saw Robin Renegade go up against Jamie Hayter in one of the first of two, ladies and gentlemen, two women's matches here on Dynamite. It's very rare that we're getting two of them, and it's very rare that we got the amount of women that we got here tonight on Dynamite. Tony Khan, keep it up. Let's talk about it, fellas. Jamie Hayter gets a massive win over Robin Renegade. No doubt in my mind here. They want to build Jamie back up to get her in the title picture. Is the next step for Jamie Hayter to take on Saraya after what we've been seeing? Or do you think they skip over that and they put her right in a title picture? Let's go to Wayne for this one.
I think this is better for Saraya than it is for Jamie. I think, for a while now we've been talking about how Saraya kind of seems a little uninterested and kind of in the background a bit. And now she gets to fight the big name in AEW that we've been missing and we wanting to see. So I think it's good. I think it's good for everybody involved. Excellent match tonight. She looks strong. Again, newer fan, not totally familiar with Hayter's work. My impression of her as a new fan watching is this is incredible. Like, I love her energy. I love how hard hitting she is. When I first started watching AEW, I used to make the comment that AEW's women division was weak, and it was the one thing that I preferred WWE over AEW. But now you can't say that anymore. And with Jamie Hayter back and Jamie Hayter doing her thing, it's just another great growth in AEW's women's wrestling to have her back and to do what she's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, what do you think about this here? What do you think about Jamie Hayter coming back, breathing a little bit of extra, maybe a couple CPR breaths into the women's division? I know you got Mercedes, you've got Willow, Chris, you've got Tony, Mariah, but like having someone back like Jamie's a pretty big bonus to have back, right?
It's a good bonus to have back, and I think this was a good match way to introduce her back. Not a squash, but you can say it was a squash. Went downstairs to get a couple 2 bottles of water. Come back up, match was over, had to back it up. So that's what you wanted, but it was a good way of welcoming her back, get her back in the ring. You knew she was going over with making a return, but I think you got to send her to Saraya next versus throwing her out there straight into the title contention with either TBS with Mercedes or with Mariah with the AEW Women's title.
Yeah, I think you could really go either way. If you want to set up a match that you never thought you'd see, you definitely go that Mercedes route. If you want to see a match that probably has a lot more story base behind it, with Jamie Hayter losing the title and, with Saraya involved, and then Tony Storm gets it, and now Mariah May's got it. So it's got a nice little line there that you can kind of connect the dots through. So I'm all for it. Jamie Hayter, premier athlete in the women's division. Logan wants Hikaru Shida to win the TBS championship. You know what, Logan? You know what? Because you brought it up, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mercedes Moné. Mercedes had a little promo here, and Hikaru Shida interrupted it and told Mercedes that, she's going to beat her at All Out. And Christopher Daniels made the announcement that Camille is banned. So what do you guys think? You think Shida becomes the first woman in AEW history to hold both the women's championship and the TBS championship? Let's go to Sean for this one first.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That was easy.
You got that right. They spent money to bring Mercedes. Well, first of all, I'm a Mercedes Moné big fan. So, I'm speaking from the heart on this one right here. They spent big money to bring her into AEW. They have built her up to be a top product in AEW. Well, she was in WWE and in New Japan still. The downfall is, and I said it again, the promo work. WWE, I went back and watched some of the WWE promos. They were good. But the one thing I'm going to say about it is maybe because of WWE, she has somebody writing the promos or helping her write versus at AEW, she's got full creative control to write her own promos.
She actually has a writer. She actually did bring in a writer that used to work with WWE.
Yeah.
And the writer apparently had made some kind of storylines in her time in WWE from what I heard from some of the Black Masses and Constellations. We got into a conversation about that. So there's possibility that even still there's someone writing her promos back there.
She got to get that cleaned up if she wants to be that next tier star. That's what they want her to be, that tier level star that when she puts over somebody and puts the belt on them, you can say this is the next big person in this side of the division of the women's division. Just the promo work is killing me right now on Mercedes. It's just not good.
The promo work and the finisher, they're not working. I think we need to go back using the bank statement. Go do Please. Let's just go back to that. I don't know what this move is that she's rocking. Wayne, what do you think? You think Shida's got a chance, or is it all Moné Saturday in Chicago?
It's all Moné, and obviously Moné's saving grace in AEW. She's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
We all know that, but yeah, the promos stink. And I don't feel her as a heel. It's just not working. The best thing they've done with Moné so far has been her and Willow. And it's just kind of been off since then. Anytime she does a promo or gets on a mic, we just kind of watch it puzzled because we know she's such a talent, and we know she's supposed to be the biggest women's wrestler on AEW, and every time she talks, we're just like, oh, come on, we want more, Thankfully for us, when she gets in a ring, she delivers for the most.
Yeah.
And I think Shida was picked and was planned because I think they need to correct the match from All In, and I think it's going to be a stronger match.
Yeah, you're saying what's on the people's minds. I don't know if you guys caught Capital Collision. She definitely had a way better match with Momo Watanabe than she did with a certain doctor. And look who wasn't on Dynamite this week, who we haven't seen. So I don't think there's a follow-up coming for that one anytime soon. But yeah, I think Mercedes Moné retains the championship, and I think you're right, Wayne. That's a course correction. Let's get that out of your head. Let's get a palate cleanser going for the fans.
It has to. All eyes are going to be on them this weekend. It has to be a great match, or she's going to get hell if it's not.
Yes. Derek brings up the aftermatch teaser of Okada versus Takeshita. Yes, please. Yeah, I failed to mention that one earlier when we were talking about the Fletcher Okada match. Continental Championship 4-way is going to take place at All Out, and we've got 3 qualifying matches Friday in that Collision Rampage block with I think it's Brian Keith versus Cassidy, the Beast of Mortos versus Takeshita, which is tough one for me, man. Those are my guys. And who was that last one? Oh man. Oh, I should have wrote it down. This is what happens when you don't write things down, folks. But it's Mark Briscoe and someone else. Mark Briscoe versus someone in the comments. Save me, bail me out. Anyway, if we get there eventually. But I did want to bring that up, fellas. Okada in a 4-way at All Out. I mean, that could be interesting. Takeshita's time? Question mark.
Beast
Morto's time? I'll take either. Mark Briscoe time? I'm cool with those.
Definitely Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe, had a hell of a promo tonight, fellas. With the conglomeration and Will Ospreay. Had Kyle O'Reilly in the background doing the ad-libs. Yeah. Mark, you said Sean said Mark Briscoe is the heart and soul of AEW, and that right there is the best way to describe him. He breathes. It's like sunshine. It's like the sunshine shining on your skin after a thunderstorm when he comes on your television. You're like, I just sat through a Jericho promo. Mark Briscoe is here to refresh my palate. I had to throw that in for Wayne. No, listen. I like what we've been seeing with Jericho recently. And tonight Jericho reignited a little history between himself and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, something that I don't think we'd ever hear talked about again in AEW when Orange Cassidy dumped the orange juice on Jericho's $7,000 vest or jacket or whatever. Brian Keith, Orange Cassidy at the behest of Chris Jericho here. I loved Cassidy coming backstage and ignoring Jericho. I think that was the funniest. And then the face Jericho made. Wayne, I'll tell you right now. You guys want to give me shit because I'm a Jericho hater, quote unquote, but I'm not really. There have been bits and pieces with this learning tree thing where I'm like, okay, I like it. And then there's been bits and pieces where I'm like, okay, I don't like it. I'm 50-50 on him with this, but tonight he made me laugh again. So this week, thumbs up to Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Like you said, when Jericho hit that face after Cassidy completely. Oh gosh, I mean that was good. As a Jericho fan, I was wondering how long they were going to carry this learning tree thing on too. I thought it was kind of gonna die out after All In, and I mean they just released more learning tree merch, so it's going strong. Jericho Mania is still here, baby.
Sean, you got any words here on the learning tree, Chris Jericho, or anything of the sort?
Come to the vortex, man. Get in it, Jericho, man.
Get to the vortex.
Get in the vortex. It's Jericho, man. I'm telling you, the guy just keeps reinventing himself. At first, the learning tree, I didn't like it, but the more it just kept being on my TV and I had to watch it, I started liking it. And once again, tonight, it was good. And like I said, Orange Cassidy, this guy right here got an A+ on that promo by doing what he did. It just acted like they weren't there.
And he said, hey, if Brian Keith beats him, he's going to give Jericho that $7,000 in cash. Right. So, I mean, Jericho could be $7,000 richer and possibly have one of his bad apples in a match for a title. So, hey, maybe the learning tree ain't so bad after all. I'm ignoring some of these comments. Mercedes promo was average at best. Sheeta carried that promo for Mercedes. And, of course, Mercedes will retain. Just awful to see another wrestler carrying Mercedes promo work. Ooh, Derek. Tell them how you really feel, man. That's you're cooking there. She needs a manager, and they gave her a manager who doesn't talk.
Can we get a Jim Cornette? Even though Cornette don't want to have nothing to do with AEW, can they find a way to get Cornette just to manage her?
I don't know if he would ever do it.
Right.
But I mean, dude, I was gonna say a name, but then I remembered that she's in hot water with some of her antics, so I'm not even gonna bring her name up. It starts with a V, ends in a Vicky. Yeah. No, yeah, she's in hot water for something for months ago or whatever, if I remember seeing. So I don't know. Give her a mouthpiece, maybe. What about maybe Stokely Hathaway leaves Chris, goes with Mercedes. That's a pairing I wouldn't be upset about.
That could work.
Forsyth said heel Monet is meant to be cringy. Okay. All right. If that's meant to be, then she's nailing it. A Mark Briscoe promo was always a pocket full of sunshine. Derek, I see what you did there. I appreciate that. He knows I love my references. Logan said Chicago fans are going to chant CM Punk on AEW All Out. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Especially because you got Mr. Jack Perry in the mix. Speaking of Jack Perry, fellas, Jon Moxley said he's a real sweet kid. I think I know why he said that, right? I think it has to do with that other name I just mentioned, CM Punk, and the whole. I just choked a guy a little, Wayne, you saw my tweet on this earlier. Moxley and Shafir not coming after the Elite or anything, but they're coming. They want to talk to Darby Allin. What's this about? What are your thoughts?
I still can't wrap my mind around it. I really don't know where they're going with this, other than Darby Allin has been representing AEW, and I mean that could be, I forgot who mentioned it, but they put it in my head, and I can't stop thinking about it. But the possible invasion storyline, man, that'd be amazing. I hope it's true.
That was 4 sides. Those 4 sides of the ring.
Incredible idea. I can't stop thinking about it. I've been talking to everybody about it. I hope that's what's happening. But yeah, I don't know. The only Darby connection I can make is the fact that he's been representing AEW.
Okay, that's a safe. I think that's the safest route that they take with this. Sean, what do you make of all this? You got Marina Shafir kicking dudes in the chest. You got Moxley. He just wants to have a conversation. He's got a whole new presentation. Last week he looked like Kim Possible. This week he's got the white T-shirt on, doing his best Bryan Danielson impersonation. I can't make anything out of this. What can you make out of this?
I'm lost. Every week I'm lost. Riddles, I can't figure them out. Most time we all can come together on the nightcap. We can talk about it. We can figure it out. I'm still lost on it. I don't know which way Mox is going. I don't know if Darby shows up next week. He just nails them, or if he shakes his hand and say, "Hey, let's form a faction together." I don't know, but Mox is doing whatever they got. Mox doing, he's nailing it right now with this angle that he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, this is the most character development we've seen from Moxley since the time he's come to AEW.
Yeah,
exactly.
And inject it in my veins. Anything Moxley here for it. I love it. Give it to me.
I wasn't sure what you were doing over there. I wasn't sure if you were just trying to show off the biceps, or if you were, you know what I'm saying, you were like trying to tell the people, like, look here, right here.
Oh, no. Mox is killing this right now. I love the mystery of it. I love wondering, and that's my favorite part of professional wrestling, is when you get to tune in each and every week and wonder where a storyline's going.
That's right.
And that's something I think we need more of, instead of just it being spoon-fed to us all the time. We have a storyline right now where we're going, what is going on? And that is a sweet spot for professional wrestling.
That's something that AEW hasn't had in a while, where we're sitting there and we're like, what are they doing? You know, we had that in the beginning of like with the whole Jack Perry beating up Tony Khan, and then they kind of dropped the ball on the follow up, and thereafter
MJF and the Devil, and
Yep.
Right.
you know,
that,
and
boom.
that shit. Sorry.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
the Prez ain't watching tonight. He's a busy man, so we're good. We're gonna let it fly. I just dropped 5 F-bombs in a row real quick.
There it is.
My man said I'm number 1 tonight. Number 1. I love it. Mox, Shafir. I hope. I'm assuming there's more coming with these two, with probably an expansion of the group. Also, Mox just completely ignoring anything to do with the Blackpool Combat Club. Very, very telling of where his mind's at and what he's looking to accomplish. And on top of that, there's still the line of it's not your company anymore. Maybe that is in reference to Darby, like what Wayne just said. You know, maybe we've cracked the code. Maybe it's John Moxley feels that Darby's the poor representation of the company and that it should be him. Or maybe it's the fact that he's just respects the guy. There's a few ways that we could go with this. And I'm in tune. Like Wayne said, it has you questioning what's happening next. I like it. It's crazy because since the picture was taken, it seems like the storylines have gotten better on AEW. Like there is a McMahon helping backstage. And Mox is in the center of it all. 4 sides of the ring says, you know, I feel like with the amount of dirt sheets and journalists and all of these things that we have in play in professional wrestling in the year of 2024, I feel like that photo being leaked, that was a big one. But I feel like if he was actually backstage writing stuff or was in creative, I feel like it would have already been all over the place. I feel like that would have been reported, you know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, like Shane's in creative, you know, there's a McMahon in creative. I feel so. I don't know. I couldn't tell, but if they keep on doing this, let's see what they got, right? I mean, that's been the biggest complaint from a lot of people was like, oh, they don't do stories, but they tell their stories in the ring. That's the whole point. And that's why I try to tell people. I'm like, you gotta, it's a read between the lines sometimes. And then now they're starting to kind of put those stories together for people to be like, oh, let me sink my teeth into this.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like it, fellas. We're cooking tonight. Another women's match. It's a rite of passage, ladies and gentlemen. It's a rite of passage that the first title defense goes to Nyla Rose for any women's championship. Finally, somebody tonight on Twitter picked it up because I've known this for a long time. A long, long time. Me and Sean talked about this when Mercedes defended that title against Nyla Rose just a few weeks ago. So we already knew this was coming. Good match. Mariah May. Nice shiner on the forehead there, fellas. Did you peep that one?
Yes.
What do we think about this one?
Yeah, good first defense. It's one of those things where Nyla Rose is so threatening looking. It's hard to imagine how they beat her all the time. I mean, she's so fun to watch. We know she's gonna bring it. She's gonna bring the intensity. It's gonna be a good match. And I was curious to see how it was gonna end. If it was gonna end clean, and Mariah May got the right win over her.
Yeah, using Toni Storm's finishing move.
Storm Zero.
The Storm Zero, Sean. What did you think here?
Good match. I mean, you know, I always say Mariah May versus Nyla Rose. I thought at first that Mariah got a little bit lost in the match because she kind of didn't know which way to go with the offense with Nyla. But once she got cooking, both of them kind of got that chemistry going in the ring. You can see they both started cooking. Using Storm Zero was the finishing touch. And it goes back to what we always say, you know, Nyla Rose is always the person they throw out there as your first person to get you to the next person. And she does have the history of being one of the longest women to hold that title. So it just gives you more leverage as a champ to give you something to say, okay, we beat this person. We can be taken seriously as a champ. But I think it still sets up her time to Toni down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Wayne, it's funny you bring that up because when you looked at that, when I looked at that matchup of Nyla and Mercedes from a few months ago or a month ago, and like looking at them lock up and stand there in the ring, I'm like, if you didn't watch wrestling, you know what I mean? If people didn't watch wrestling, they just turned this on and they saw Nyla Rose and Mercedes Moné. They're in their heads are going to be like, this Nyla Rose chick's going to destroy this girl. Like, she's going to get destroyed. She's going to get thrown around the ring. And then, Mercedes picks up the win. And same thing tonight with Mariah May. I'm waiting for one of these, first time, Nyla Rose gets a crack at the champ the first time after they win a title. I'm waiting for one of those to shock us and have her actually win. Because I feel like Tony's conditioning us right now to see her lose, and then like she's gonna win one night, and it's gonna shock everyone. Everyone's gonna go kind of nuts for her because she hasn't held a title since the beginning, which little sad there about that. I think she's a very talented women's wrestler here in AEW, and I think she's super funny. And I don't think she gets to really show the personality as much as she should be these days. But good stuff. Good first title defense. You guys are on fire tonight. We've made it to the main event. This is by design because this is where there's a lot to talk about here, fellas. We've got a lot of stories interwoven. I feel like Madam Web from Spider-Man when, you got the webs going all over with the stories. Yeah, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt, guys. That's why the reference is Spider-Man tonight. Listen, you got Wheeler. You got Claudio, you got Pac, the trios champs, you got Orange Cassidy, you got Will Ospreay, and you got Kyle O'Reilly. You got the conglomeration with Will Ospreay. Fellas, I'm going to let you guys take this away because I talked enough. Wayne, Shawn, what we like, what we didn't like, what we loved, what do we want to see, what's coming down the pipeline. Give the people your thoughts here. Let's go to Shawn, and then we'll have Wayne come in here hot.
I made a lot of notes on this one. Great match, number one. That's why I had it out. Good false finishes in it. Great match. Good. It was good to see Pac and Ospreay go out in that part of the match where they just separated and did their own thing. I really think they did good when they wrote that part and booked that part in for it. I like they used the finish to use the Tyson Kidd Claudio finish. I did like that. A big shout out. I was a Kidd and Cesaro fan back when they were in WWE together. And I think they told a lot of good stories in this match. I like that the Bucks came out. I really got upset one time because when the Bucks and Okada was getting the best of the Black Combat Club, I was like, where is FTR? Where that music needs to hit right now. Where's the Acclaim? Somebody. The music needs to hit. But you saw that Claudio, Yitter, and Daniel was able to get back and get the advantage back on them to set up what we knew what was coming with the tag match coming. Good match, good storytelling. I mean, once again, a perfect main event for AEW this week.
Ooh, Shawn, I love it. Wayne, what you got here?
I'm glad Shawn takes notes because I sure as hell don't.
You and me both, bro. I'm the host of the damn show, and I'm over here just freeballing it. Like
Shawn's the man. I love Shawn. Yeah, awesome match. I mean, not a single person in this match is difficult to watch. We love watching every single one of them. There is no such thing as a bad Claudio match. Anytime he's on my screen, I love it. I can never get enough of those swift uppercuts. And of course, I'm always ready for that big swing, baby. But yeah, great to see. Oh, Pac and Ospreay going toe to toe like they did. What a preview of what we're gonna see at All Out. And here's the thing: we're gonna see another match of the year contender from Pac and Ospreay. Every time Ospreay gets in that ring, it's just bound to be one. And what a time to shine for Pac.
Oh, absolutely. Emmy says AEW nails these multi-tag matches. Yes, they do, Emmy. Yes, they really do. Listen, I got to just talk about the fact that Ospreay and Pac, they just skedaddled out of here, right? Great, the word of the night for Mark Briscoe was stupendous. My word of the night is skedaddled because these two skedaddled. They got the hell backstage and they started kicking the shit out of each other. Pac hits this man Will Ospreay with that brain buster on the freaking storage boxes, which to me screams Ospreay's coming into that match all bandaged up and he's gonna fight from behind, maybe retain the title, maybe lose the title. I don't know. Maybe you'll have to tune into my predictions this week to find out, and maybe tune into Shawn's predictions on Saturday morning to find out to see who's gonna win. But I will say, great overall match. Shawn brought it up. Claudio and Yuta are going to challenge the Young Bucks for the tag titles. Now, 2/3 of the trios champions are going for the tag team champions. And it's the same issue that we were having with the tag team division where you're having the dedicated trios guys come over to the tag division. You're not You're not keeping it fleshed out. You're bleeding things over. And I get you can't defend the trios championships. Pac is going for the international championship. You don't want to leave these guys off the card. I get it. But then again, the AEW tag team division, you just teased that GYV was coming into the mix. You still have the Acclaimed in the back burner. You've got FTR there. That's where I kind of fall off a little bit. I'm not saying that critically. I'm just saying it in the sense of like, we have this issue. It's been an ongoing issue, right?
Yeah, I think it's a strange. I mean, I love these guys that hold these belts right now. But it's weird for them to hold the Trios Championship with all of this happening.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense for the story. And I also thought it was strange, not to change subjects or anything, but you have this opportunity with BCC out there, and we don't talk about Moxley, and they don't.
Yeah,
right.
And like so that's strange to me. I think that could be done a lot better. I mean, at the very least, have someone from the BCC saying, "Hey, we don't know what's up with Mox," or we've tried, he's talking to us, or something. But they're just acting like Moxley was never part of the BCC now, and that's weird,
And that's another point you bring up. Danielson was on commentary.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Danielson was on commentary.
Taz asked him if Kyle O'Reilly would be a good fit for the BCC, and Brian Danielson said nothing. But we didn't ask about Taz. And Taz is Taz, as we know. Taz could have easily been like, "So what's going on with your man Mox?" Like
exactly.
something. So valid point brought up. Emmy said she's buying you a notebook, Wayne. So shout out to Emmy. Shout out to the missus. Derek said, I got to get out of his head, because he said the same thing about the trios match. Great feud storylines woven into this match. Yeah, there's great storylines being woven, and you add in the additional storylines of now the Young Bucks, the Jack Perry situation. You've got Okada in the mix, and now you have a what did they call it, dude? The multi-championship tag match on Friday with the trios champions and Brian Danielson versus the Elite, before Saturday. So that's right there with the AEW nails these multi-tag matches right there. So that'll be a fun one Friday night. It's not fun. I made sure I saved plenty of time to talk about this, folks, because there's a lot to discuss. Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen watching this, they were supposed to sign a contract tonight. Well, I saw on social media today, and they recapped it for us so eloquently, that Swerve and Prince Nana, they bought Swerve's childhood house, and it's this feel-good moment. Very beautiful, beautiful things are taking place. There it is. Look at this.
There it is.
Look at this. That's it, dude. The notebook, it just appears. Doing some beautiful things. Swerve buys his childhood house, and everybody on social media then started tweeting, "Burn the house down. Burn the house down." I blame all of you sickos tweeting for this man to burn his house down, because he saw it and he burned this man's house down. And fellas, pictures are worth 1,000 words.
Yep.
Can we just stop taking the banner off so you get the full mana here, fellas? This is some shit right out of a Batman movie. This is right out of a horror movie. This is insane. Sitting in an armchair with a whiskey.
This is storytelling.
This is story. This is real. This is for the people. Fellas, what's up? What do you got for me, man? Because I'm still in awe.
Well, according to my notes here, I got for you. It's cowboy shit. That's the
cowboy shit.
My God. What a way to end it. Again, it reminds me of the glory days of wrestling, of when we saw just segments that made us go, if we were kids and we were watching this, it would have blown our freaking minds, Like, we would have been like, holy shit. They actually lit it on fire. I mean, and what a fun way to end the episode and carry on to a pay-per-view.
Oh, dude. Well, what a you're right. If I was, a kid still, I'd be losing my shit right now. All the boys would be texting one another and be like, he burned his house down. Yeah. Holy shit. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah, it gave me Undertaker Kane feels, you know, from back in the day when we get to see the fire rise and then just complete hell unleashed on television. Awesome.
Shawn, what do you got, man?
You know, being in the house with kids who watch AEW, little Lucas, when she saw it happen, all her friends were telling like, "Oh my God, Hangman burned up the childhood house." And when I first was watching, I saw it on Twitter today. I was like, they're not gonna show it on the show. Then when they showed it on the show, I was like, okay, this guy's supposed to be a heel. Now you're making him the biggest baby face in your promotion because you got him up here talking about signing this contract. I was able to go buy this childhood house. I mean, he just gives his baby face promo about, you know, we lost the house before foreclosure, all this stuff. I'm like, if you want this guy to be a heel, you just killed it, AEW. He can never come back to be a heel after a promo like this. And I said, what in the hell are you doing? But then when we got this, I said, oh my God, it makes sense. This is storytelling at the best right here. And I mean, Hangman, I just had to feel when he was in that house. I said, he's going to light it on fire. I remember telling everybody upstairs, he's going to light it on fire. No, he's not going to do it. I said, he's going to light that house on fire. And when he done it, I said, it was like, wow, this is storytelling. People who say AEW cannot tell stories, go back and watch this from day one, from Hangman and Swerve till right now. That is execution storytelling at its finest.
Dude, first things first here. This dude is in his house talking about your father didn't love you. Probably wishes you never was born. Talks about how Swerve was watching him with his pregnant wife. Talked about how Swerve's fiance took the kids and left him. The absolute personal shot. You think CM Punk or Drew McIntyre has been personal? This shit is personal. This is one of the most personal rivalries I've seen in pro wrestling, and hands down, credit where credit is due. Swerve, Hangman, whoever came up with this, you know, in creative, or if it's the two of them coming together to draw this up. 10 out of 10, fantastic work, because you have this insane switch, right? We know Swerve, home invasion angle. People lost their minds. Then Swerve becomes the biggest baby face in AEW in quite some time. Now Hangman becomes the biggest heel. They do a double turn. Successful double turn, to the point where the successful double turn, and I know Shawn, he knows exactly what I'm about to say. The successful double turn every week, it's like they keep turning. It's like, who's going to out-evil the other? There is no face or heel designation. It's just, we fucking hate one another, and we're going to kill each other. A steel cage match, Saturday night. This has to be the main event. I know I know the world title's on the line. I know there's a ton of championships on the line. This is the main event.
Yeah.
Give him an hour. Give him an hour inside the cage. Let him kill it. Like, I say this respectfully, for the vibes, for the pure entertainment. Just destroy each other.
That's it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got, fellas. What do you got? Any other words of encouragement, wisdom?
No, 100%. They're giving us what we wanted, you know, and we've been saying it when we saw that Swerve was going to lose the title. We said it has to come back to the Hangman and Swerve, and we knew it was going to happen. And they're giving us exactly what we wanted. And they just put the volume up all the way to 10, and now we're blaring into All Out.
Yeah, this is match of the year. Another match of the year candidate. Emmy says she's cooking. Mrs. Thomas is cooking up here with some fire. Not this kind of fire. But she's cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, All Out is going to be crazy, as you know. You know, we get this thing called the Nightcap. You know what I'm saying? Where you're kind of watching it right now with us. So Saturday, join us after AEW All Out. For the AEW All Out Nightcap. We'll get to talk more in depth about what we'll see with Swerve and Hangman. I want to thank Wayne for coming on the show. Thank you so much, Wayne. Shawn, thank you so much here for coming. What's coming down the pipeline for your content these days when it comes to It Stinks and Wrestling of Destiny? Let the people know.
It Stinks drops tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Boom Broadcasting. We'll be talking about Big Brother. We'll be talking about Tulsa King. Trying to encourage some people to go watch that good series. I watched it about 4 or 5 months ago when it first dropped on Paramount Plus. I've been watching it all over again. We'll be talking about Bel Air on Peacock. Then on Saturday at 10 a.m., WOD, we will be talking about the Joe Hendry effect. We're going to go back to the Nightcap. If you missed the Nightcap on Sunday, we had a great conversation on the Joe Hendry effect. So we'll be going back talking about the Joe Hendry effect, what it's doing for TNA and NXT, and then we'll be making those all-in picks right on WOD. And don't forget, Thursday, 4 p.m., jump over to Studio 67, NCC. If you want to learn about Eastern Carolina football over in the Carolinas, tune into the Grit and Grind.
There it is. Wayne, what do you got for the people? Any shout outs, anything you want to get off your chest that you want to, spitball, any words of encouragement, anything you got? I know you don't have any content. I got your handles. Make sure you go follow Wayne. But tell the people, you got anything going on?
Hey, come follow me on X and Charm City Nitro. Come watch me talk shit, be a hater. That's just what I do, It's just what I do. I try to spread love, whatever, all that feeling comes out. And I just go on there. I just give it hell. But no, I might have some exciting news coming up soon. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Go follow Wayne. Go follow Sean. Go check out Studio 66. Go. My man Sean's doing everything. He's taking care of North Carolina high school football. He's got movie and television reviews. He's got wrestling podcasts. Wayne's got a TikTok as well, so go follow him on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Nightcap. Actually, hold on. I got to get this in here. Derek, last second comment. Hangman's redeeming his receipt from what happened when Swerve entered Hangman's house a while back. The mind games between Swerve and Hangman are getting more than personal. Great storytelling. Yes, Derek. That's a great way to end the show. Another awesome banger of a show tonight. Much love, Derek. Much love to all of you for hanging out. Much love to Wayne. Much love to Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. I'm not going to hit you with this tonight. I'm going to leave you with this.